Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tyson Hockley. I'm a 15-year-old. I produce content here on YouTube, and today we got a special video. So I've been seeing some videos on TikTok of this man named Jordan Peterson, and I've also posted a couple of the clips that I liked onto my YouTube channel for you all to see. I've had a couple comments suggesting that I actually do a video reacting to a compilation of Mr. Jordan Peterson. So that is exactly what we're doing here today. I'm coming in here with an open mind, and we're going to see if I agree or if I disagree with most of the stuff that he says. Again, I haven't seen too much from Jordan Peterson, just a couple clips here and there on TikTok. So today we're kind of taking a more in-depth look at the ban. I'm pretty sure Jordan Peterson is a psychologist, and he does a lot of public speaking. He has a YouTube channel. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I don't really know too much about him other than that. I believe he is a conservative. So, yeah, we're just going to take a little dive into some clips from Jordan Peterson. I'm going to be giving my commentary and my feedback as I watch the clip. So, yeah, let's get into this.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Okay, right away, I'm already going to pause. So I just want to make it clear, I have nothing against transgender people, but there is no right to not be offended. That's not something that's in the Constitution or in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada. There is nowhere written in there that you have the right to not be offended, and that kind of goes hand in hand with free speech. Sometimes with free speech, you're going to say something that's going to offend somebody else, and that's okay, because that's free speech. There is no right to not be offended, so already had to make a pause in the video just to state that.
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like, you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
You've connected a lot with... That was a funny smirk that he did at the end there. Already, off the bat, first clip, I think it's pretty good. Again, got nothing against transgender people, but just had to state that there is literally no right to not be offended. Sometimes you're going to hear something that's offensive to you, and that's okay, because that's how you grow as a person, and that's how you expand your thinking.
A lot of young men, lots of different people, but young men particularly seem to, find something in your message. I'm a young man. I'd like to be improved, please. I want to stop being a pathetic weasel.
Yeah, that would be good. Clean up your room. I don't know
It's kind of fun. I'm going to just turn this down a little bit.
how you can go out and protest the structure of the entire economic system if you can't keep your room organized.
What are the limits of that idea?
Yeah, so that's also another thing that Mr. Jordan Peterson talks about a lot is keeping yourself tidy. He always talks about kind of good habits that you could do to just kind of become a better person. One of the things he talks about is keeping your room clean. And, well, I'm not the best at that, but at the moment I got a decently clean room. But that's something that is absolutely true. You're going to be able to function better if you're in a good space, in a clean space, than you are if you're in a dirty and disgusting place. So I personally feel I'm more creative when I'm in a clean room than I am when I have stuff all over the place and I'm in a messy room. So Jordan Peterson, in my opinion, is definitely right on that. Keep yourself organized, keep yourself structured, make your bed in the morning, and have a clean room. That's something that we could all work on.
Because you can have a lovely clean room, but if for my generation, we're looking down the barrel of climate change, we can't afford a house, some people can't get work, university education's unaffordable. Like, there are these huge, massive problems in society and the political economy that are also going to, screw us over in the big picture that the clean room isn't going to necessarily fix.
If you're going to fix complicated problems, you have to learn how to fix simple problems first.
I want to know, what is...
Exactly, he's right on that. Small baby steps, small baby victories. And yeah, just living in a clean environment is going to make everything a lot easier, trust me.
your answer to young people for some of the really big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market, because they just don't, like, you talk all this much about individual responsibility. Most of us are never going to be able to afford to have all of these assets to have responsibility over. So what is your advice beyond banal comments like clean your room?
Actually rather difficult to answer a question that ends with your comments are banal. Politely. I would consider that more of an opinionated personal and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there?
A trans woman is
Okay, he's kind of a bit of a savage.
a real woman.
I don't really like the way those questions are
Oh,
formulated.
actually, this is a clip that I posted on my YouTube. Here, let's just rewind.
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. You know, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well,
She
I'm
doesn't-
asking you, in your mind.
So this is kind of an example of the interviewer trying to phrase a question in a way that will make him sound bad. Instead of playing along with it, he kind of takes a step back and goes, well, I'm not really too sure of the question which you just asked me, which I think is a great way to answer it. When you don't understand a question, you have to kind of take a step back and say, well, what do you really mean? And I believe that this question was obviously just to try to trick Mr. Jordan Peterson. This is one of the clips that I have seen already.
You know, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
Again,
No.
a very heated question.
Woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No,
Why not?
because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant.
Interested in
So again, this is Mr. Jordan Peterson's opinion. I'm not really going to say too much as to that because, you know, that's a very touchy subject, especially here on YouTube. But yeah.
people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that, just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male. And
He's absolutely right, too.
and we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer
Okay, this is a clip of Jordan Peterson absolutely owning this woman. I'm sorry.
hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender.
Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest? The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis.
So,
Well, that's
That's probably the best way he could answer that question.
that's highly debatable. That's highly debatable.
actually, it's absolutely true because there's never been a secular humanist government on the planet.
I don't know. I think the Soviets were pretty secular.
No, they. Then,
I know
with all due apologies, you do not know the first thing about what secular humanism is. You should read the Secular Humanist Manifesto.
I'm very glad I put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm
you get
very
my
glad that
point.
I've
No, but you get
exercised
my
my freedom of
point.
speech.
You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on.
So
And
do
that is
you-
what you should do. But
And
you're
do you
exercising
think-
your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So you haven't sat there and I'm just trying to work that out. I mean,
Ha, gotcha.
you have
Ha, gotcha.
got me. You have got me. I'm trying to work that.
History. I've written the idea that women were oppressed throughout history is an appalling theory. They haven't had a great time, though, have they?
Who has had a great time in history?
But men have had less of a
Really?
shitty
Have
time.
they? Have
A
they?
lot of
By
the
what
time.
standard? By what standard?
Okay, Jordan Peterson is absolutely right again. Like, not everyone is perfect, but like, I don't think that men have it really better than women. And that's an argument like, oh, equality, men have it better than women, they get paid more, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that that's true.
Well, I'm just saying if you're a woman...
How about
it
war?
But it took longer for women to get the vote, and women belong to their husbands, and in this country...
Like, yeah, maybe back in the day they had less rights than men, but that's changed. And that's not the case really anymore.
One woman dies every week from domestic violence, a man dies like once a month, I believe, from that same cause. Like, aren't there some clearly obvious things that women are victim of as a result of their gender?
There are inequalities in the catastrophes that the genders are subject to. And so, look, first of all, there's some things we got to get straight. History is a rough business. Everybody had it rough. In 1895, the typical Westerner lived on less than $1 a day, which is absolute poverty by today's standards, right? And so people were brutally poor for almost the entire course of human history. It was rough. You say, well, did men or women have it worse? It's like, well, you know, that's a complicated question. But one of the things you can say is everybody had it pretty damn bad. Marxists say, well, that wasn't real Marxism. What it really means, and I've thought about this for a long time, it's the most arrogant possible statement anyone could ever make. It means if I would have been in Stalin's position, I would have ushered in the damn utopia instead of the genocidal massacres, because I understand the doctrine of Marxism and everything about me is good. It's like, well, think again, sunshine. I'm not suggesting in the least, and have never
He's right, though.
suggested that there's no domain for social action. I'm suggesting that people who don't have their own houses in order should be very careful before they go about reorganizing the world, which happens in many ways. I see a
That lady is very offended.
backlash against masculinity, and a sense that there's something toxic about
But what is
masculinity.
this idea
as
of being
such.
over? Why is society overly feminized?
Well, I didn't ever say that society was overly feminized. So if we're going to discuss my views, we should use my actual words.
Women got full legal rights.
If we're going to discuss my views, we should use my actual words. That's good. Okay, so we're going to stop it here. If you want to see a part 2, let me know. I am more than willing to do a part 2 reacting to Jordan Peterson, but I'm just going to give my little rundown of what I think. Now, do I agree with everything he says? No. Do I agree with some of the stuff he says? Yes. I think he is an intelligent man, and I think he does have a lot of truth that he says. So I'm definitely open to watching more in the future if that's something you want to see. Do I believe he should be censored like some people think he should? Absolutely not. Freedom of speech, of course. But yeah, again, I don't agree with everything he says, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be allowed to say it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of my rundown on Jordan Peterson. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you are new to my channel, of course, and if you're already my channel, that would help. But, yeah, thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And, yeah, thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care, everyone.